Welcome to Who Lives Around the Corner, a new visual podcast with interviews of neighbors with a variety of unique interests and talents. And now the host of Who Lives Around the Corner, Mr. Dan Regan.
Welcome to Who Lives Around the Corner. We have a very exciting young lady who covers all phases of photography and many different other things. I'd like to introduce you to Lonna Kelly. Welcome to Who Lives Around the Corner.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Where do you live?
I live in Pauling.
Pauling?
Yeah, over on the other side of the river and north of here.
Wonderful. Tell me where you were born.
In Yonkers.
In Yonkers? Where in Yonkers? I used to live in Yonkers.
On Lafayette Place. It was down near Getty Square.
We lived in Nodine Hill up near the tennis courts.
That's not that far.
After the Bronx, we went to conquer the suburbs.
Yes.
So tell me about, you have family, children?
Yes. I have my husband, John. We've been married for quite a long time, and I have two sons, Jesse and Noah, and Jesse has a little girl named Max.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Tell me when you got interested in photography.
You know, I have a picture of myself when I was 10 years old holding a camera, and I can remember getting it. My father brought it home for me, but we also didn't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't usually have film for the camera, so I would imagine myself taking pictures and going out and doing things. And when I could, I graduated to a real camera with film.
What was the first camera you owned?
Probably an Instamatic.
And what do you shoot now?
Well, I have a Canon camera, which I don't use so much anymore, but I have an iPhone 16, which I use a great deal.
Well, what type of photography interests you?
Well, I do a lot of different kind of things. One thing that I do is I do what I call kind of roadside photography, or street art. It's kind of road art. And up where I live, a lot of people put out signs, elect him, dump her, expressing their opinion, and I'm very attracted to those signs, so I do a lot of that kind of photography.
That's interesting.
But I also do a project called Camera Obscura.
What is that?
I started this a few years ago, and Camera Obscura is actually a natural phenomenon, where if you have a darkened room and there's a wall to the outside that has a small hole in it, the light from the outside will come into that hole and project an image on the opposite wall. Okay?
Interesting.
So I had been doing that for a while. I started off by making a small cardboard box Camera Obscura, but now what I do is I go into various places and I have to put black plastic up covering all the light sources, and I put my lens in one of the windows opposite a nice flat wall, and it projects an image onto that wall.
How does it differ from pinpoint photography?
It doesn't really. It's very similar to pinhole, because then you have a box and a hole, but then you have a piece of photographic paper in it that you can take out and develop. With the larger Camera Obscura, I have to take the photo of that inside wall where the image is.
Let's talk about the many phases and interests of Lonna Kelly. What is this Art East Open Studio project that you work?
The Art East Open Studio Tour is really a program that we started about 20 years ago to bring more attention to the artists in Eastern Dutchess. Mm-hmm. The east part stands for east of the Taconic State Parkway. And it's every year, 2 weekends in October, we have the Art East Open Studio Tour. And people come and they go from studio to studio, visiting different people's artwork.
How many photographers or artists did participate?
This year, there's 20 participants.
Wow, that's terrific.
Yeah.
And what about this postcard project that you were active in?
I was hoping you would ask. This is a project I started in 2016. And every year I select one of my photographs to be the postcard. And just, I don't know if you can see this, but this is this year's postcard that I have been using, that I used. And every year it's a different postcard. And I have 250, it's a limited edition, 250. And I write on the postcard, modify and mail to L. Kelly, and then I put my address. And I take the postcard and I leave it places. I leave it on counters, I might leave it if we visit a museum, I leave it at libraries. Wherever I go, I carry a batch of them to leave around. I hand them to people I know, and people take them and modify them and mail them back to me.
So you want them to modify the postcard that you're leaving?
The picture on it.
That's a great. How long have you been doing this?
Since 2016.
Yes? Have you got some good postcards back?
I've gotten some incredible postcards back.
Are you in contact with the people after you receive their postcards back?
Only if they write their names. Sometimes a person will write their email on it, and then yes, I do get in touch with them, but most of the time I have no idea who the postcards come from. It's an anonymous thing.
Then there's another project you're working on, women on U.S. dollar bills.
Okay, this all started with a visit to the Metropolitan Museum in New York City. I can't tell you how many years ago. And I saw a giant photograph by Moira Davies, which was called Copperhead Grill. And all it was pennies. And it was a grid of pennies. And I was thinking then, the dollar bill is so degraded now, so much lower in value. It's almost like a penny. It's our penny, you know. And so I thought, well, what can I do about that? And I started the project of photographing dollar bills and logging them into the app called Where's George, and then spending them, and people would find them in various places, and if it had Where's George in it, some of the people would send it, log it back into the Where's George website, and I would know where it was found, and not necessarily who found it, but when I finished doing that, I thought I was finished, but then I realized that I wanted to do 10 women who should be on dollar bills.
Ah,
And
interesting.
that was that. And you want me? I'll tell you who I selected.
Yeah, I'd love to hear who you selected of your 10 people to go on the dollar bill.
Okay, Harriet Tubman,
Right,
Susan B. Anthony,
right,
Rachel Carson,
right.
Amelia Earhart,
Oh, wow.
Barbara Jordan,
Good.
Helen Keller,
Crazy.
Wilma Mankiller,
One.
Rosa Parks, Sally Ride, and Eleanor Roosevelt.
What have you done to enhance this project except verbalization?
Well, I created a map of where all the dollar bills got logged back into, because I was very curious. You know, when you spend money, we don't spend much folding money now, but when you spend it, where does it go? You know, where is its next stop after I spend it? $5 in the deli.
Interesting.
Where does that that money go? So that was kind of my one of my reasons for doing this. And
That's a great project.
yeah, I did create a map of it.
You ought to call up President Trump. He's looking for new ideas.
He'd probably say, "Okay, stop making the $1 bill. We don't need that
Printed
anymore."
with my picture on it.
Right, right.
Well, what other projects have you got in the works?
Well,
You got such an inquiring mind. It's brilliant.
Thank you. Well, we're John, my husband, and I are participating in another open studio tour that just started up this year, and I've been getting ready for that, and I've been trying to figure out what new kind of images I could do for that, and I have a new series called Orbs, ORBS.
Okay. Is it a secret, or can you let the Who's Around the Corner public into it?
I'd like to let them know. I have a very large bubble wand, and I have a formula for making very large bubbles that I can make. And I make the formula. I dip the bubble maker in it, and it makes enormous bubbles.
Okay.
So what we did, John and I, my husband, John is my adventure on most of these things that I do.
Great.
So we went out.
It's good to have a partner in crime.
It is. I selected a few places for us to go, and he would make the bubbles, and I would go after them and photograph them.
You photographed the people in the bubble?
No people. There's no people
Scenes.
in this. It's just scenery. Yeah.
Scenery.
One was an abandoned house.
They can't complain.
No. One was abandoned house. One was a maple grove.
Wow.
And you really don't get an explanation of what this orb is. And I think maybe it's come from too many science fiction movies that I've watched.
Well, people got to learn to use their imagination.
Yeah.
You're a very interesting young lady. How do you see yourself in the future?
Well, I keep changing what I want to do. I want to do a lot more camera obscura. It has some parameters that I need that I don't necessarily. I've done it a lot at my house. And I've done it, there's a gallery in Pauling that I've done it, and I've done it at a museum. But you kind of need the window here and the wall here, maybe 10 to 15 feet away, not any further. So I can't always find that location.
Yeah,
And
keep looking.
Yeah, I find nature doesn't work as well as the built environment with the nice straight lines.
I want to thank you for coming and spending your time and expressing to our viewers who lives around the corner. You're a true credit. Thank you very much for participating in this podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you have or know of a neighbor with a unique interest or talent, please get in touch with us with their contact information, and please include their unique interest or talent. Email us at wholivesaroundthecorner@gmail.com. Goodbye for now. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Who Lives Around the Corner, a new visual podcast of neighbors with a variety of unique interests and talents, with host Dan Regan. Brought to you by Rockland World Radio and Modern Metro Studios.